This is CCNA. I'm Ryan. We continue with lab 1076. Just using a TFTP server. TFTP server is just a regular general purpose server here. We have to start by going into it and find the TFTP service, and turning it on. And when we do that, you notice that we're already 13% complete. So that's kind of nifty. There's not a lot of commands to do this, but it's different than what we've been doing. Since the commands aren't just local to the router, you have to go out to another device. Okay. And so the order that we put the commands in is even more important because you can swap them and the command will still execute. Okay. So we're going to start out by looking and seeing what version of iOS we have on router 2. So we'll go to router 2 here. And we look at the flash file system. Let's make it a little bit longer here, a little more elegant. Show flash. And it looks like we have version 151.4 right there. And notice there's only a single image on the flash drive. When that's the case, the iOS or the router, the ROM on the router will automatically seek out this particular image. So we don't need to do the boot system command. But once we get a second image on there, to make sure that it boots the correct image, we need to specify. Otherwise, it'll still do that. It'll still go to the flash and look up the first image in the directory, which is actually probably going to be the old one. All right, so we can start with this when we're typing in. So notice there I went and copied that. Doesn't really let you copy from the instructions, so that could be helpful. And then we do a copy command. So let's copy from the TFTP server to flash. And the address is in there in the instructions. But if we wanted to, we could go over to the server itself, the desktop, command prompt, and we do like an ipconfig. And we can see that, yes, in fact, 192.168.2.254 is the address. So 192.168.2.254. All right, so for the source file name, we copied this guy right here, which isn't the right one, but if you'll notice, the first part's, if you're upgrading, the first part's probably going to be the same. It is possible to go to like a, maybe not a different device, but a different class of image. So what we're pasting here is the image name, and we'll see that when we do the show version, there's an A in there. And hopefully this is it. And we're going from 151 to 155. There you go. Must be it. It'll copy fairly quickly, and then we verify. We can make it quicker by doing the fast forward button there, and it's done. Okay. We're gonna look at the flash image. We see We have the 151 image and the 155 image. So to make sure that we boot to the new image, we put in a boot system command. And you can have multiple boot system commands. If you wanted to specify this image as the first image and then another image as the second image, you just put the boot system commands in order. But in this case, we're going to just have one. And it's not a bad idea to leave the old version on there. Maybe you need to go to, and we can just copy that. Maybe you need to revert back to the older version because there's maybe something with the newer version that doesn't work like you thought it would, or you missed something in the bug report, and I've added a vulnerability that's really important to your particular network. These things can happen, but usually not. Usually when you're upgrading, it's a better version and it's got fewer security problems. All right, so we're going to save the configuration because to get the new iOS, we need to reload. There we go. And we can do the same thing. Do the fast forward time. And there it is. We boot it up. Enable, and we do the show version. And you can notice image name. There's the image name right there. So that's the file. But also notice that there's a version number here. So 15.5.3, and then you got the 15.5.3 right there, right? So when you're shopping around for versions, people refer to the version by that name. And it's not the exact same thing as the image name. So this is the file that we load to get this version of iOS. Cool. Great. So notice that we're up to 46% already. And we move on to the next one, which is switch. Same thing. We're going to go to switch 1. There's only one switch. And let's get it over. Nah. All right. So enable starts with an E. And yeah, same steps. So we're gonna we could show the version first. Show flash. There's only one image, so that must be the one we're running. We could do show version 2, I guess, to make sure that that's the one that actually booted. A lot of times there's more than one flash directory, and maybe someone got sneaky and the image fit on NVRAM. You shouldn't be storing your image on NVRAM. That's they're usually pretty big, could cause problems. And then we're going to copy. So copy TFTP flash, and it's the same remote host 192.168.2.254, and the source file name. Again, beginning part's going to be the same. In fact, yeah, we can just copy beginning part. land base. Oh, so say that it's a whole different category. Interesting. So that's not happen very often, but we're changing categories, which maybe means that there's a different feature set, and we're also changing the version because we want the latest and greatest. Well, maybe not the latest and greatest, but we want something more recent than what we have. And that'll be the source file. So when they're doing the source files off the TFTP server, the TFTP server has a directory that it's going to look in. Oops. Oh, I did the command wrong. Or did I? No. Nope, didn't do the command wrong. Hold on. From TFTP to Flash. I probably typed the file name wrong. Let's just make sure. Oh, nope, that's MZ. All right. That'll work. Let's type it in. C2960 land base K9. I left the K off. That's what it was. So yeah, we're going to a different feature set, so the beginning part changes and the version changes. And there we go. So this is a major upgrade. You definitely want to make sure and test this in your before you put it in your network. And then yeah, we do the boot system, because now we'll have two images. We'll do show flash. There are the two images. Go into global configuration mode, and we'll do the boot system. This one. Now that we know that it's right. And great, now we save it. We reload. And since we can fast forward time here with this little arrow, we do that. There we go. Okay, good. And close that. Now we're going to back up an image. So we're going to take this router 1, and we're going to save the image to this TFTP server. You can see that we're already at 15.5 on this particular router, so we're happy with that. We just want to make sure that if something happens, maybe someone accidentally erases the iOS image, or the flash drives on some routers, they can come out. On other ones, they're a chip that's soldered to the board. maybe somebody took that flash drive out for a little bit, and you wouldn't notice it while it's running because it decompresses the image, it puts it into RAM. So removing the flash drives sometimes are accessible from the outside, so you could remove them when it's running. It's not unheard of. So yeah, good to have a backup copy in case something like that happens. So we'll do show flash. There's one image on here. Starts right here. And since it's that image that we're going to put up there, we'll just copy it, or copy the name of the file to the clipboard, and then we'll go from flash to TFTP, and we want that file. It is possible to have subdirectories in here, but we don't. It makes it a little easier. So there's our source file, and then we want to put it to the TFTP server, which is at 192.168.2.254. And yeah, that's the name of the file we want to use. And this one, we're definitely going to want to fast forward on. And just the amount of time changing. I think it really wants you to wait. Wants you to suffer. Funny. I was not super happy about doing the fast forward on this long simulated file. All right. Do you have another shot? Yeah, see how the time is. The time is actually slowing down. It's like this. For this part, they really want you to wait for it. Wait for it. It's not fast forwarding. Even though I'm clicking the fast forward button. We'll do it one more time. And that just stopped everything. There we go. All right. So not smooth, packet tracer, not smooth. All right, so we copied same number of bytes that are on there, so that's a good sign. And then on this one, we had one image. We're transferring it to the TFTP server, so they want us to look at the TFTP server. Well, maybe you'll have a nice GUI like this to work on, and there it is, ISR 4300 and 155.3. So it's the same one. Great. So we did is we copied some iOS images from our central depository here to router 1 or router 2 and switch 1, and then to back up the iOS image from router 1, we put it into the central depository here. So this is a good way to manage iOS image files. It can be painful to have to find them. The Cisco site if you need them again, and you will. In this case, when you upgrade your other routers on there, you'll want to go here to this central depository to get them. So good luck with that, and have a fine Cisco day.